It's Gen Con weekend, we all know what that means. Obligatory top 10 videos and potentially a giveaway. As you might know, I've never done a top 10 video, so I have so many I'd love to do, but for my first one, I figured it best to start with something exciting. So what better to do than my most anticipated games of Gen Con 2018? And quick note here, I am not including expansions or demos in this list because it felt like its own thing. And with that all said, let's get to it! There are a lot of new awesome games coming out at Gen Con this year, and while they didn't make the final cut or the top 10, these are some games I think you should definitely check out. First, let's talk about Caper from Keymaster Games, designed by Unai Robio with incredible art from Josh Emmerich that gives it this Grand Budapest Hotel vibe, and that's the same artist behind Campy Creatures. Now, I already own this game, and it's seriously fun and worth checking out. Side note here, I'll be helping out Saturday morning at the Keymaster Games booth until lunch, so be sure to stop by and say hello. Also, I painted the rocket ships they're going to be using as their demos for Space Park, which is really cool and you should also check out. So I hope you enjoy playing with them. Last thing, I'll have a copy of Campy Creatures with me, and I'll be giving it away while I'm there. Once the doors open to the general public Saturday morning, whoever comes and tells me their favorite movie monster or creature will get the game for free. It's yours. Okay, moving on. Another honorable mention is Peep Mats by Benjamin Pinchback and Matt Riddle. This is the same duo that knocked it out of the park with Fleet Dice. This is a very simple and beautiful set collection game about birds. I have a feeling I'll be getting this one as I like having small games like this for my game night bag. Next up is Guardians, put out by Plaid Hat and designed by Callan Flores. It looks like a super fun deck builder with variable player powers, assembling teams of superpowered heroes to fight for various locations. I'm really excited to check this one out. And the last two honorable mentions, these were so close to being in my top 10, but there was stiff competition up there. First off would be Master of the Galaxy by Ares Games. This is a brand new 4X game that works with 2 players, something Kathy and I typically can't find. Plus, it blends bag building, drafting, and tech trees. I'm totally in on this one. Just sign me up. I'm very excited about this game, and I hope it's as fun as it sounds. Last but not least is Rise of Tribes by Breaking Games and designed by Brad Brooks. It's a prehistoric civilization building game of area control. The art looks awesome and the concept behind it looks super fun, so I look forward to checking this one out. Alright, it's time. My top 10 most anticipated games of Gen Con 2018. Number 10 goes to Petrichor from Ape Games, designed by David Cherkup and David Tercey. You play a cloud! You are a cloud. Seriously, a cloud. That's so cool. Kathy and I have been really excited about this one for a long time. She was the one who told me about it. The object of the game is to control clouds, vote on the weather, rain on fields, grow plants, and it looks to have some intense player interaction, which Kathy loves. Plus, the art is really cool. So this is a definite purchase for us. I'm super excited about it. Number 9 goes to Archmage by Starling Games and designer Tim Harima. This looks like a beast of a game, and I'm really excited by how heavy it looks. Archmage claims to be a Euro-thematic hybrid where players take on the role of fledgling mages, traveling the lands to recover ancient relics, gather followers, train apprentices, etc. As your power grows, you'll make your apprentices fight one another to gain new powers and spells, all while building your mage tower to watch over the land. There's a lot going on in this game, and that just makes me all sorts of happy. Number 8 is Expansity from Breaking Games, designed by Alex Cutler and Matt Fantastic. It's a tile-laying game about building cities all while having secret objectives, which makes me think there's a lot of variability in this game. The cover art alone had my interest from the very beginning. I really love little abstract games like this, such as Azul and Sagrada, games I can easily throw in my game night bag for newer gamers, or when you're wanting to just play something more lighthearted and fun without having your brain dribble out your ears. Number 7 on my list goes to Yellow and YANGTZE from Grail Games, designed by Reiner Knizia. Now, this is said to be the sister game to Tigris and Euphrates. This is also the same designer as one of our favorite two-player games of all time, Lost Cities, which has an expansion coming out, but I said I wouldn't mention expansions. Anyways, moving on. This is a serious set collection game from what I've looked at, with your weakest set determining your score. And yes, this game has screens, and I've mentioned in the past that I don't like screens. But my recent love affair with Battle for Rokugan has kind of started to change my opinion on them, so I very much look forward to checking this game out. Number 6 is REEF from Next Move Games and designed by Emerson Matsuchi. This is the same designer as Century Spice Road and looks to be a very light but very fun little pattern building game. Plus, it only takes about 30 minutes to play, which means it's absolutely going to be a game night staple. I'm in love with the art too by Chris Williams, and while I absolutely want this game, I saw those lines at Origins, so I'm a bit nervous that I'm not going to be able to get a copy of it. But we're going to try, fingers crossed. Number 5 goes to NYCTOPHOBIA by Pandasaurus Games and designed by Catherine Stipple. I have to say that when I first saw this game, I really wasn't that interested in it. The art and typography just wasn't working for me, and I hate to say it, but this is one of the first things I look for in a game. But I finally went and looked at it and saw what this game is about. You play blind while trying to evade an evil hunter, mage, or vampire that is trying to kill you and your friends. And by blind, I mean blind. You have to put on black glasses and can only move around by touching the board. How cool is that? I have to get it. Number 4, put out by Rule and Make, is Smiths of Winterforge, designed by Jenna Grimsey, Dylan Scherer, and Aaron Sparkle. Plus, some of the art is by Ian O'Toole, which you know I'm going to be excited about. That's super sweet. This is a game about being dwarves, crafting items for contracts to become the most legendary guild in the land. It sounds super cool, and the art looks amazing, which means I have to go and check it out. Alright, time to get serious. Top 3. Number 3 is Newton by Simon Games and designed by Simone Luciani and Nestor Mangione. This one came out of nowhere for me, and I hadn't really heard about it until this morning. It's designed by one of the designers behind Lorenzo and Grand Austria, so yeah, I got really interested. In Newton, players take the role of a young scientist who wants to become the world's greatest genius. To do this, you travel around Europe, visit universities and cities, study to discover new theories, build new tools, and work to earn money. Each round, players will play one of 5 action cards from their hand, and at the end of the round, a player can take back all of the cards except one. One card has to be left on the board, which means that you give up that action for the rest of the game. That just sounds amazing. I'll be grabbing this one for sure. Number 2 is Gunki Mono by Renegade Game Studios and designed by Jeffrey Allers. The game takes place in feudal Japan. Endless battles, betrayals, and broken promises have left soldiers questioning where their loyalties lie. Meanwhile, the daimyo are strategizing, marshaling their troops and erecting strongholds to bolster their strength of their armies, all in the pursuit of honor and ultimate victory. Players take on the role of daimyo, plotting their military advances across the countryside. Each new squad of troops yields you victory points, but you may decide to forego these points to save up for your stronghold instead. The game looks to be a bit of a balance, choosing to overtake the land with strategic tile placement or strengthen your stronghold. As you place tiles on the board, you'll also need to follow specific rules, and then you'll score points based on tile placement. I love little puzzle games like this, so I'll be excited to play it. Alright, finally, number 1. I've seen this one on a lot of top 10 lists out there, and it's of no surprise to me. It looks incredibly fun, exciting, and it's just packed with some of my favorite mechanisms, as well as being another of the same designers behind Lorenzo Il Magnifico, and some of the most beautiful and original artwork I've seen in a long time. Number 1, Coimbra. Published by Eggertspiel, designed by Flaminia Brazzini and Virginio Gigli. I hope I got those names right. And that awesome art is by Chris Quilliams, who also did REEF. The game takes place in Portugal during the 15th and 16th century. Nestled in the heart of Portugal, the city of Coimbra serves as a cultural center of the country. As the head of one of Coimbra's oldest houses, you seek to earn prestige by deepening relationships with nearby monasteries or funding expeditions of the era. To reach this goal, you must vie for the favors of the city's most influential citizens, even if you must offer a bit of coin or some protective detail. This game is a dice drafting set collection game where you'll be doing your best to make the most efficient use of your dice rolls. It looks like a solid medium weight game while being quite fast at under 2 hours. If there's only one game I was going to purchase this year, this would be it. And that's it, guys. That's my top 10. I hope I was able to give you some games to consider that you hadn't thought about, or solidified games you were definitely getting. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and you can also check out my complete list of anticipated games in the link below too. Plus, I'll include a link to the games I'm wanting to demo while I'm there. And seriously, if you see me at Gen Con, don't hesitate to stop and say hello. As I mentioned before, I'll be helping out Saturday morning at Keymaster Games. And then after lunch, I'll be helping out my friends at Eagle Griffin Games for a couple hours, chatting about Escape Plan by Vita Lacerda. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button, and also subscribe so you never miss a future episode. Thanks so much for watching, and have an awesome day. I should probably go pack.